Any move that is orchestrated by the Kenya Kwanza government at this point in time with an aim of arresting the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, I kid you not, it is an ill-advised move that is set to divide Kenya into two. And for anyone to be arrested, one, an investigation must be done regarding the offense committed. Two, a file is then opened with fully combined evidence. Three, the file is then sent to the Director of Public Prosecution for valuation if the case is admissible. And four, if the Director of Public Prosecution finds the case to be sustainable in a court of law, he then orders for prosecution or arrest. And in this context, I still wonder why some UDA allied MPs are having a pedestrian view in this matter, having it in mind and thought that they are trying to push the government to arrest the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, forgetting that arresting the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga shall not in either way lower down the cost of living. And if the government dare tries to arrest the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, that shall be total absurdity. But instead, it should find the right mechanism of which they are going to address the issue of high cost of living. But before we concretize further, in case if you're watching me for the very first time, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. If you have been watching my videos and you have not subscribed, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button. And more so, if you're watching me from a different platform, either Telegram, TikTok, or Facebook, kindly just head on over to YouTube, search for Mohamed Sudi. I'll be the first right person to pop up. If matters socio-economic and political matters are your great areas of concerns, kindly just consider hitting on the subscribe button so that each and every time that I upload a new video, it will automatically reflect on a notification panel. And by so doing, you'll simply be supporting my content. If in any way the government decides to arrest the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, then that shall be the time that they're going to know that the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga enjoys a silent majority. Because it shall not be business as usual, simply because no Kenyan, regardless of his or her political affiliation, would want to return to the Moi era of which arbitrary arrests were done anyhowly, or as it is done in our neighboring countries like Uganda.
Barricades along the way. They brought several patrol vehicles as you see them here. As my kids were being taken to school, they were subjected to horrendous... Officers, I've committed an offense. Please.
Legally, no one is above the law, but technically, there are some individuals in this country that are above the law. Literally, when the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga speaks on the high cost of living, then he speaks of the millions of Kenyans who are suffering, irrespective of their political partisanship. So you can imagine how many people are going to come out in his defense if in any way the government decides to arrest him, because both his supporters and his opponents are equally suffering. Arresting the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga shall be breaching Article 37 of the Constitution, of which contemplates that each and every citizen has a right to picket peacefully. At times, I've always wondered with the kind of leaders we elect in parliament, simply because instead of they creating time to discuss the root cause of the high cost of living before the chambers of parliament, they got the audacity of going on a national television before the chambers of parliament discussing Raila's arrest.
We had something that looked like a demonstration in Nairobi on Monday, Madam Speaker, because it was not a demonstration. When people demonstrate on top of cars, that's not a demonstration, it's a caravan, Madam Speaker. What I'm trying to demonstration, you walk with your people. You don't get in when they're harmed, you sneak yourself in the car, and then you pretend that you're demonstrating on behalf of your people. We did not have that, Madam Speaker. And what was there was for them to look for an opportunity to harm the people of Nairobi, to harm the people of Kisumu, and some people of Migori, Madam Speaker. We have to say enough is enough. And this is why we're asking on this floor whether one, Raila Amolo Odinga is above the law, Madam Speaker. I urge the police and the president, arrest the man. Let's see what will happen. What will happen? People will go to bed. People will go to sleep. People will go on with whatever they are doing, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to remind this House. Madam Speaker, I want to remind this House that we cannot every day, talk about this side of the minority.
Because in any way, arresting the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga shall not in any way lower down the high cost of food and the high cost of electricity. I strongly feel that this is the right time that President Ruto should come out and address Kenya's main concern on the issue of high cost of living, and that in itself, it could be a strategy of he kicking Raila out of stage, because he will have nothing to echo on concerning the common mwananchi now that the government shall have lowered down the high cost of living. But honestly, that has just been my opinion. If you have a contrary opinion to mine, kindly just feel free to drop your comment in the comment section and I'll give them a right of reply. And as I end this, kindly just don't forget to subscribe if you have not. Thank you, and may God bless you.